Hello, I am Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz on February 13, 2021 at 1:21 a.m. Birmingham. And type it, guys. I want to fill in those blanks on the last blog. I left several on purpose, and by that, and I'm talking about payday has arrived. The gentleman back in 1926, he did an article entitled it Someday Payday or Payday Someday. Well, someday has arrived. That's now. We're reaping what we have sowed. And I can go and tell you who I believe started the abortion and made it legal. You all know who that person is. And she did it, 73? I believe 73. And now that's come around to bite us in the butt. We're reaping what we sowed. There's several things here I want to run by you. And just let me go back to, I'm going to say, this is in 1986 in Birmingham, Alabama. There was each station, of course, like everyone else, has a news and a weather forecaster, newscaster, and then sports. Well, our weather forecaster, he's a Christian man. He went to the church I went to. He said something on live TV that got him fired. Back in '86, we had a storm appeared out of nowhere. Got 8+ inches of snow. He said on TV, he said, ladies and gentlemen, he said, I would have told you this. But there was not a cold wave moving this way 2 days ago. It wasn't there. It appeared night before last. And that's what slam dunk us with all the snow that we got. Where he made a mistake, to the TV, I guess to the owners, they didn't see that cold front coming. It was not on the maps. They fired him for saying that. He eventually went back to another show, but as a news anchor, not as a weatherman. These are tidbits. These are things that are coming to pass that we read in the book of Revelations and in other books. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John all have tidbits of what they wrote and told about what we can see in the things that are going on in the end of days. And that's one of them. There appears, or the Bible says, there's a change of seasons. You'll not know what season you're in one day. Well, our weather's been changing for a little over 30 years now, that nobody has really picked up on it. 15 years that a lot of people picked up on it, but really sharply right here around us, and all of you as well as you know. Well, back up about November the 1st. That's when people got snow that wasn't supposed to. A lot of things were just happening sporadically, not just here, but around the world. But a lot of it right here in our country, because there's an evil aurora around us. And you know where I'm coming from when I say that. So the guy got fired. Now, let me go to another one here. This is one that really got up my goat. And it's probably a good thing that I did not mention it, because I had to change the wording of it, because it changed. It did. Once again, it changed. Something happened that, go back and read it in the Bible, and Bible tells you expect these things. Picture this. You got a elderly man getting a visit. He's in a nursing home, and a good friend of his comes to visit. And his friend walks in and calls his name, and he got up and, hugged him. Good to see you. Good to see you. Glad you're here. He said, how you doing? He said, well, okay, if I didn't have his lame one-legged crutch here that I have to drag around everywhere I go. He said, well, what's that for? I don't know. They just hooked me up on it last week. Well, I mean, did you have a problem? He said, no, didn't have any problem. They just decided they needed to give me a drip of saline. And it's been going on for several days. Let me tell you what that is. And another thing, by the way, the guy that went to visit him also talked to one of his ex-police officers, who's a detective, and asked him why he's working so much overtime. He said, well, I got a sickly aunt. At least they tell us that she's sick. He said, what do you mean to tell you? He said, well, they're always running tests on her. And she's okay, but yet when we take her in, they run tests, give her new medicine, all of a sudden she comes home sick. Guys, you remember back when Tupperware was a big thing? People held Tupperware parties. Well, what the hospitals are holding now, and they may knock me off for saying this, are placebo events. That's right. That is their way to just keep that money coming in by taking anyone in almost any nursing home and calling people at home and say, look, it's time for your so-and-so that should have been at this date. And I'm going to tell you why I'm coming to that point, because it really, well, it got me. It ticked me off. I had a shortness of breath, and I went to my doctor. And of course, he's a general practitioner, and I can only tell you that I'm going to give you some steroids, little package, and but I'm going to get you to run and have x-rays. Well, did that. And the x-rays, I went to a hospital that is co-owned by the hospital that's near my home that I had when I had my open heart done. And they just saw my name come across the thing there that I had x-rays done. Guess what? Guys, this is crazy. Here it is. So far, I've gotten 3 letters, 1 meeting, and out of the wild blue, I got to be at the hospital February 23rd, 7 a.m. for nuclear test, rest stress, and 23rd, later time during the day, echocardiogram, and then another one at 10:45 a.m. It's an echo, but it's a Doppler that they're looking for. That's 1. Here's another one that came in day before yesterday. That's 2. I got to go in on March the 3rd for a whole mess of stuff. Came in yesterday. Placebo event. Just give you all they can give you. Take all the money they can get from you. And we were pre-warned of that by the Bible. When you throw it in, I mean, Bible clearly says, politics and religion don't mix. But yet, it is religion that's telling us what the political end of it's doing. So, there's another thing I wanted to bring up about that, but I can't find it naturally. But I will go to the last, which would be, I mentioned the weather here. A guy that comes on BP Earth Watch, which is YouTube, and gives an update on weather. He said, I wouldn't be here. It's not a big deal, except something just changed. He said, not even hours ago. He said, if you look at our weather forecast, which he's in South Mississippi, we were headed for a normal this time of the year weather event. Cool. That's it. But now they're expecting snow and ice. This popped up on his screen just hours ago. And these fronts, cold, ice, snow that's been rushing across the country, did you know that we've never experienced as many as we have this year? No other year, no other 2 years or 3 years running can compete with what we've had and what we're about to get starting Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday this week. The Bible says the seasons will change. It's not going to be normal during those days. And it's crazy. And one last thing I want to tell you here, and I'm sure a lot of you will know, I think I went into the tribulation a little bit, and you know what, I'll go ahead and say it. When the church is raptured, the people who are left here will still have an opportunity to accept Christ, but they have to go about it in a different way. The window of grace has closed or will close soon. The grace period, it'll be over. Then you have to pay for it with your life to get salvation. And believe me, it's not going to just be a simple beheading of you. It's going to be torture. The Bible clearly says some of you will be caught, punished, tortured, and beheaded. But God tells us, hang in there with it. Fear not the one that can hurt the body, but the one that can destroy the body and the soul. So, you will have an opportunity to accept Christ or receive a crown of life during the tribulation, but it's going to be very hard. And the other thing I was going to tell you about it, or say to you, was I already forgot that too. But anyway, again, grace period is going to probably close soon. I believe that with all of my heart. And guys, things are changing. And when you get a group of people like we have now in the political system that actually believe the lies they're telling us, that makes them extremely, extremely dangerous. That's here among us today. When they believe the lies they tell you to be true, that's bad. Guys, And I'll give you one little bit of an uptick here. Someone talked about all the stress that Donald Trump's going through, the 500 plus million plus, that is lost on his own business, his own account. The way people keep attacking him, never stopping day in, day out. He's a warrior. He's a patriot. He has not showed any type of depression or any type of fading back into the background or give me a hand full of pills. He's standing strong, and I believe that's that way for one reason. Something's going to happen here. And this man, Donald Trump, I've been a basket case, guys. He's kept a level head the whole time. There ain't no sweat off his back. I believe there's a future. Something going to happen. God's going to use Trump again in the future, in the very near future. Jody Wolf Expoz.